Whoa! The EMF meter here is going crazy. Let's just go on. Did you used to live in this place?
I'm about to spend a night inside a building that has links to the devil himself. There's one house I would love to investigate, but the problem is, you'd have to fly out to Estonia to do it. So I've flown all the way to Tallinn, in Estonia. And it was worth it. Tallinn, steeped in history, through every narrow alleyway and cobbled streets, its townhouses still in the very buildings that shaped its early history. The city is located on the Baltic Sea, giving it an important location, but also making it a target for capture. It has been taken by the Danes, the Swedes, and the Russian Empire, and even Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, until 1991, when Estonia regained its independence after years of occupation. These very buildings have seen plagues, world wars, and dictatorships, but now it's open for the world to come and see and visit, becoming one of the most impressive and beautiful cities to come and have a mini break in. And with that, you'll need a place to stay. But if you do a bit of research, you will find one of Tallinn's darkest townhouses, and it's available on sites like AirBnb. Located a stone's throw away from the old town centre, you'd think this building would be ideal for people to stay here, but the stories here are quite dark. There's no wonder there are often ghost walks, tour groups, and tourists in general pointing up at the house's mysterious blocked-up window, taking pictures. The story is weird, but there is an element of truth to it. In the 1400s, this building was used as an inn, but business was very poor, and the innkeeper was about to end his life as desperate times fell upon him. As he was about to do so, a dark stranger arrived. He asked if he could hire out the inn with a lot of money, with a special occasion being a wedding party. He needed a place for many guests, but the condition was that nobody else was allowed inside the building. Before long, coachloads of people arrived and guests went upstairs. Loud music played out, but this made the innkeeper more curious. He didn't know who this mysterious guest was. According to the legend, he had a little peek inside before collapsing dead on these very stairs. The locals were terrified about what they believed had occurred inside the room, so much so that the window was permanently blocked up, and for years nobody was allowed inside that room. It is now an apartment and anybody can book it. The house has had several uses. It is believed to have links to the KGB during the city's Soviet era, but the stories of its hauntings are even creepier. Residents living below have reportedly heard footsteps, medieval music, and the sounds of people drinking, despite this top floor being completely empty. In an interview with Estonian TV, Jere Halistvi, a former owner, stayed in apartment 6 when her friend Arne Haugdal woke her to say that she could hear medieval music, despite the room they were in being in complete darkness. One man staying here asked the restaurant downstairs if he could have some water and some black bread brought up. He claimed it wasn't for himself, it was for the spirits. He claimed to have seen an old woman in his apartment asking if she could have some black bread after she woke him up from his sleep. In the apartment directly below this one, a man called Haro Haruso was sleeping there when he was awoken to see a person wearing Soviet pilot clothing. This may have come from the building's Soviet history. The building has over 700 years of it, so I'm itching to find out what could possibly haunt it. Before I start, I visit the memorial of the MS Estonia to pay respects to the 852 people that died in one of the worst maritime disasters ever. having sailed from here in 1994. It's a sad piece of history, and the city has struggled to come to terms with the disaster ever since. If you're interested in our paranormal videos, please like and subscribe to the Dead Air channel. But right now, I'm about to investigate the house that it is said the devil himself was married in.
Okay guys, we start outside apartment 6, which I can only assume this is the door where the old innkeeper came and had a little look. This exact spot here. But here we are, room number 6. And this is it. This is the apartment here at the old house. We've got a dining table here. Got a bed over here, and over here if you look you can see the little window from outside. This is the little window, which means the bricked up window, the sealed up window is here. This is it from the other side. You can see that they've kind of, well, you can't really tell there's been a window there. It's obviously all bricked up, and they've left this hole in the wall. I'm not sure why, because there's other parts as well where, as you can see, I turn it that way, you can see a little bit better. They just haven't completely covered the stonework. I'm not sure why they've done that. Kitchen area straight ahead. I just want to show you the view as well. Over here, not a lot of our shoes, by the way. Wearing these trendy things instead. Look over there though, you see sort of Tallinn's beautiful building. That's the view you get from the window. And then obviously we go upstairs again. Got a bathroom with a jacuzzi on the left. Very luxurious. And up here is the top floor. This is kind of like an attic. So I'm not sure if this would have been where the party would have been up here, whether all this was still there. You can see I've been ironing clothes on the rooftop terrace. Here's the bed upstairs, and then again I was just having a little look through the cupboards. Even through here you see this is where I got the ironing board out of, but you can still see that this has all been, something's been here as well. And I tried to have a little look through there. There's something goes behind there. It's been bricked up, but you can see this floor is maybe less than a metre between the entrance of this little cubby hole and the wall. Certainly not as deep as what it goes back there. So there was something back here which I'm quite curious about. So in this area, whether it was up here or downstairs, is where that infamous gathering, that infamous party took place. Outside on the top, you can see just been chilling here all day. And then down there, the main street of Tallinn. Let me just run through what we are going to have paranormal equipment wise. I've got a couple of K2 meters, I've got another one in the bag, so we're going to go through. I'm going to quickly get some baseline readings just now before we even start the investigation, so we can see if there's any anomalies going on. We've got the thermal imaging camera, so we can capture any heat signatures that we capture in the building, anything like, you know, anything that's too cold, anything that's too warm. That's what that's for. An MP3 recorder. Now, we are told that people hear noises in here when the apartment is empty, but you don't usually hear them when people are in here. So The idea being we're going to leave a recorder going while I probably pop out for a meal, pop out to a local restaurant for maybe an hour or so. We're going to keep this recording in the building so we can hear if anything's going on. And of course we've got the spirit box connected up to a speaker as well, so we can hear white noise. Oh, and black bread. Now I got this in a local shop just down the street. So you can see it's, I mean, I don't even know if this is actual black bread or whether it's just a normal bread that's just darker, but it looks black enough, and they eat a lot of it out here in the Baltic countries. So we're going to leave some of that out tonight in a glass of water so we can see if we can communicate. And before anyone asks and says, oh, but you're trying to communicate with someone who wouldn't speak a word of English, just look at the comments on the video we did in Iceland, and people were saying, oh, what's the point in trying to contact spirits that don't speak English? Well, it's okay, we've got translations. I've left a little message there as well. I've got translation apps as well. So we're going to try and translate some things into Estonian, old Estonian, and see if we can maybe get some communication that way. I'm also going to record myself tonight. I'm going to sleep in this bed, probably not the one up there. I believe this being the main apartment, because the story goes that the man looked through the door and saw the wedding guests. That would imply the wedding party was happening in this space that we are right now. This was probably all of it, actually. I don't know if they've added that bit, the upstairs bit, later on. They've knocked through and made an attic apartment, or whether this was just the room that the innkeeper let out. But this was apparently where the event took place. Now, people claim they hear clinking of glasses. That is quite possible. There is a restaurant on the bottom floor of this building, and there are other apartments in here where people can sit at the table and dine. But certainly the things like waking up and seeing a little old lady in the room asking for black bread. She will get her black bread if she wakes me up tonight and asks for it. So if there's any spirits in here, you will get what you want tonight. And also the Soviet airman. Now, we know Tallinn has a strong link to the Soviet Union. It was part of the Soviet Union. There's even a KGB prison just less than a mile away from here. What is the connection to this place and Soviet pilots? We're going to find that out tonight. So I'm going to set some experiments up. I'm going to do a few baseline readings, which I might as well do now, so we can see that we're not getting any kind of spikes on the K2 meter. So what we usually do is we just go around the walls, because that's where electrical cables usually are hidden away. You can see nothing that's going to interfere. I mean, I'm going to put it into the fake window. Touch the wall. This is just, you know, how we do it. If you want to investigate the paranormal properly, you've got to go around and just check that there's no areas that are going to give you a false reading. Obviously, we're not going to have the lights on tonight, so that doesn't matter. So I'm going to go around the rest of the apartment and do that. Where are we getting? I'm sure I saw a flash there, but like I said, there's nothing in my equipment that's on that can do that. My phone's not on, I'm recording. So anyway, keep an eye on that. I'm going to go around and do some baseline tests. Wondering what that was. I think it's some sort of bird outside. Anyway, join me on the other side. It'll be dark. We're investigating the old house in Tallinn, home of the Devil's Wedding.
I left a voice recorder recording for nearly 2 hours, but but didn't capture anything out of the ordinary. I also found nothing unusual when I did a baseline test using the K2 meter.
It's a nice view, isn't it? Apart from the scaffolding on that church. In fact, the scaffolding's a bit all around at the minute in Tallinn. People are going to bed. You can hear the last few making their way down these cobbled, narrow little streets. That's Olaf's church. Once the tallest building on earth. Now when you think about it, you've got places like Dubai, New York, totally dominating. Modern Tallinn, outside of the old town, sticking out, bright lights. I prefer to be here in the historic Tallinn. This is where I'm starting tonight, outside. I've been out here all afternoon doing some work on my laptop. Such a nice little place to sit in the sun. Did get a little bit sunburned, well, a little bit red. As you can hear, someone, a restaurant, a bar, just emptying all their glass bottles out to be recycled. And I'm going to go inside the Tallinn old house as the clock strikes midnight. In fact, what timing that is, I don't know which clock. I think it's this one over here. We are midnight local time here in Estonia. Let's go. So I've come down into the bottom of the apartment, just on split level. We've got the normal floor, and then up above we've got like an attic that's been converted. I'm assuming during the days of this legend, this probably would have just been a room, one large room, and that attic might have been storage. I don't know. That's just my my theory. A few glass bottles being emptied outside. I also wanted to point out this. This is the front door. Obviously this is said to be the door where the innkeeper spied on the party that was taking place in this very room. But there is a motion sensor. Obviously people who try and unlock this door on the outside, the light will come on if it senses that you're here, but it also for some reason comes on when you're inside the apartment. Watch. So I'm going to walk. You see there the light that's outside where the stairs are. Why it comes on here? Maybe the sensor is up there somewhere outside, and it can sense me, and then it goes out. Why? I don't know, because we've got lights in here. But this is the door that apparently the innkeeper spied on. He looked through, and supposedly the next day he was dead. But this was his building. This was where he resided. And I'm just going to show you the step over here. This is where I'll be sleeping tonight. This is the infamous sealed up window. Might try and do something with this a little bit later on. We had the Ghost Walk of Tallinn come past earlier on tonight. I was going to give them a bit of a wave, give them a bit of a scare, but I thought, I just got on with some work in the end. And I've got all my equipment set up on this table. Now the black bread, Oh, by the way, I introduced all the equipment that we were using earlier on. I forgot to mention, I did have the REM pod with me. That's in the suitcase. I also have this device, which I've never used in a ghost hunt before. It was first used by a German Belarusian scientist back in the 1970s. It's basically an EMF microphone. It converts EMF transmissions into sound. So we are going to try and get some EVPs with that a little bit later on. Okay, so I am going to run through the questions. I am going to record using an H2 microphone. This is basically an MP3 recorder with the EMF microphone plugged in, which means that you will not hear, this will not record my voice at all. It's only going to record from this box. So all you would hear on this recording will be EMF sounds. So we're going to press record on that now. There we go, that is recording. So spirits should be able to talk into that, and if we do pick anything up, of course I'll be the first to speak to someone Estonian who would then be able to translate it, hopefully into English. So I am going to start off by just introducing myself.
Minu nimi on Rob, ma olen inimene, kes püüab vaimumaailmaga rääkida. Olen tahtnud sellesse majja tulla juba paar aastat, et äkki saame vestelda.
So that's just introducing who I am, seeing if anything can reply to that. So this is just introducing the equipment that I am using.
Kas ma näitan teile, kuidas need asjad töötavad. See algast võib koguda energiat nii, et kui sa oma energia sinna viid, siis ma näen. See kaamera võimaldab mul näha pimedas. Nii, et kui sa ennast näitad, siis ma näen sind. See kast võimaldab mul kuulda, kas saate sellesse rääkida. Kui saate asju soojemaks või külmemaks muuta, siis ma näen sellega.
Okay, and with that, hopefully we should be able to make some kind of contact. So now I'm going to ask if there are any spirit people in the room. So I'll say it in English and then we'll translate it. Are there any spirit people in the room?
Kas siin on vaimu inimesi?
How many spirit people are there in here?
Palju vaimu inimesi siin on?
Did you once live in this building?
Kas sa elasid kunagi selles hoones?
I heard a knock over there. I'm guessing you guys heard that as well. Can you do that again? I'll ask the question again.
Kas siin oli pulmapitu?
I'm going to ask now about the black bread, which does not look black on infrared, but we need to ask who is the person, the lady that's asking for it, who woke people up in the night asking for black bread.
Kes on see, kes musta leipa küsib? Mul on mõned siin teie jaoks.
So I've just explained that who is the person asking for the black bread, and there is some here. You can come and take it if you like.
Kas teile meeldib see, mida praegused omanikud on hoonega teinud?
And of course there's the story about the pilot, the Soviet pilot. I'm going to ask about that now.
Kas olete Nõukogude Liidu piloot?
And now obviously the question, can you knock for me? We've heard it once, will we hear it again?
Kas sa saad mulle koputada?
Can you knock for me? Now I have absolutely no idea what this has recorded until I go through it all tomorrow. Okay, let's move around, let's have a little look around, let's see if we can speak to anybody. We'll try asking in English as well. I think we can maybe encourage some spirits where I'll be sleeping tonight. Who is the spirit that people see in the night here, who comes into this apartment and asks people for black bread? Who are you? I'm assuming you once lived here. Camera's just gone out of focus. Come back, come back, come back. Why did they brick this wall up? Why did they brick this window up? Was it to stop people ever seeing inside this room? Even if you don't believe the story of the devil's wedding, which I must admit I don't, but there was some kind of event taking place, and it's the fact that people were having events in this building. In the 1200s there was a party in this room. 800, 900 years ago, people were hosting parties in this building. I think that's incredible. Would you like some black bread? Rather than wake me up for some in the night. I have some. I tell you what, I'll have some if you have some. You can come and get it.
I captured no EVPs using the EMF mic. However, I did hear a strange knock in response to one of my questions. Coincidence?
Did you once live in this building?
Kas sa elasid kunagi selles hoones?
So I have the black bread right here. I have an EMF meter which I'm going to switch on. So if anybody wants to come and taste the black bread, you're more than welcome to. I've got some nice drink, freshly poured, and I've got black bread on a plate. If you come and touch it, look, I will be able to see, just by people putting their energy around it, breaking that beam, it will light up. I'm going to start by trying some black bread. I've never had this before in my life. It smells a bit like ginger cake, but apparently they eat this a lot in the Baltic countries, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. So come on, I don't want to be the only person eating black bread. Let's have a little taste of what this is about. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it hits you. Oh, I can't even eat the rest of that. Oh, it's strong. What do they say in that? It's almost like it's got some sort of like rum in it or something. Oh, come and have some black bread. Tasty black bread. the things I do for investigating the paranormal. Can we get some? It looks white on infrared, but trust me, this is a black. Whoa. Like some bread. That was bloody awful. If you ever come to Tallinn, I don't recommend you have any of that stuff. That was absolutely awful. Do you want to finish it for me? With the spirits in this room, or the spirit that likes the black bread? Come and finish that for me. Oh, I can't get the... I've had a drink of Pepsi and I still can't get the taste of that stuff out of my head. It's so bitter. It's so sour. Who got married in this room? Who got married in this very room? Why didn't you get married in the church? Why did you pick an old room? And an old inn to have your wedding? What the hell was that? Is that something outside? Who got married? Well, we know it's not someone outside this room because the motion sensor light hasn't come on. Who got married in this building? This very room? Did the innkeeper drop down dead just behind that door? And he knocks. Hello? Can you knock? That's the floorboards. That was me on the floorboards.
I decided to do a spirit box session to see if I could capture any EVPs. If anything came through in Estonian, my tour guide would be able to translate it for me.
Okay, I'm running some white noise for you. If you can talk into it, as I've explained in Estonian, please do. I've got the questions on the screen. Let's go. Who got married in this room? Let's turn it up a little bit. Whose wedding took place in here? Did you used to live in this place? Did you die in this place? Are you a Soviet pilot? Do you fly? Oop, I missed that one. Do you fly planes? Do you like black bread? Oop. It seems to only reply on when I'm asking the question as well, which is really interesting. Look. Black bread. Black bread. Would you like some? Come and touch it. Come and touch it. If you want me to butter you some, wake me up in the night. Come and wake me up. I don't mind. I've come to see you. I don't mind if a spirit wants to wake me up in my sleep. I'll be sleeping right here. Right next to the window. The blocked up window. So if you want to come and wake me up, I will happily come and talk to you. I want to speak to the lady that wants the black bread. Where's she gone? I want to speak to the innkeeper as well. Did you own the inn? Did you own this building? How do you feel that all the tourists come and look at this very window from the outside? Which I feel so privileged to just be on this side of that window, because I've seen this on TV shows, I've seen this on all sorts of websites talking about the paranormal. The tourist guides in Tallinn talk about this window, and I'm on the other side of it. Nope. Not many other people get to see that. How do you feel? Do you watch them out the window? The tourists who stand down there. And then they look up and see why there's no window there. Is that what you do? Do you look at them? I'll turn the spirit box off for a little bit. Still haven't had anything on the black bread. By the way, those bite marks were me, unfortunately. But we've still got 2 slices of bread untouched. Remember, if this gets interfered with, it does light up, so we do have that there in case someone does want to start bringing their energy forward and trying to get hold of some black bread.
Have a listen to these EVPs that came through on the spirit box. Despite separate questions, the same voice appears to come through and responds to each one. Now, I know some people might believe that this is just radio bleed, But to sweep all these stations and to get the same voice coming through on cue?
Did you used to live in this place? Did you die in this place? Did you once live in this building?
Kas sa elasid kunagi selles hoones?
I've done basic translation from Estonian, and what it's saying, it seems to be very incomplete. A quick sweep of the apartment using the thermal imaging camera produced no results. However, as I put the camera away, I noticed something strange happening next to the black bread.
Whoa, guys, you join me as the EMF meter is going mental around the black bread. Why is it doing that? I was literally just changing some batteries around. Hello? Do you want some bread? Would you like some black bread? Whoa! The EMF meter here has gone crazy. Crazy. If you've ever watched my videos before, I always prove out by standing well back and then zooming in to the camera so I'm not interfering with the EMF meter. But look, no matter how close we get to it, my camera does not interfere with that. It stopped, look, it stopped. Hearing noises all over the place. It doesn't help, it's a creaky floorboard. Hello? Can you do that again? I think that was the fridge or something cooling down over there. Hello? Come on. Come on. Come on. Have some bread. Have this bread. Look. I'm not going to eat any of your bread. It would be rude if I ate any more. Look there. There. That's amazing. Come and get your bread. Come and get your bread. I'm going to stand in front of this wall. Come and get your bread. Come and get the bread. Come on. Spirit. Lights just come on. What is going on in this bit? What is going on in this building? What is going on in this building? We've got some serious fluctuations going on. It's just changed in here. It has just changed. Whoa. The light over there came on. Outside, I'll show you it. In order for that light to go off, somebody needs to be. Look. There. You have to physically come this far past the steps for that light to come on. And then it goes off automatically after like 10 seconds or so. And to prove there's nobody out here, let's have a quick look. Explain that. Now I know for a fact my camera infrared light is not messing with that. Because look, I can point it the other way and then point it back The infrared light does not set that light off. It is not my camera that is doing that. I have to physically stand here to make that light come on. And then of course whatever's happening over here. It seems to have settled down a little bit. Can you do that again? Come on. This way, this way. I'm gesturing because if they don't speak English, they don't know what I'm saying. There it goes again.
Things soon quietened down. Now there's probably a million different explanations as to why an automatic sensor can be triggered, but the fact that the EMF meter was fluctuating at exactly the same time validates that something paranormal could be happening. After a while of no activity, I decide to head upstairs.
I'm just deciding to sit without the infrared night vision on, just so that we can sort of see a little bit how dark this room is in here. I'm just using the light from the camera just to be able to see. But it's nice to just sit in darkness for a little bit. See what we can get coming through. So, spirit box. Somebody up here with me. I'm gonna put my feet up for this. Any spirits come through? Who got married in here? Can you show yourself to me, please? Why did the innkeeper die? I want to know why the innkeeper died. I'm not even capturing any anomalies like orbs. Can you show yourself as a ball of energy? There's no bleed coming through the spirit box up here. Switch that off for just a second. I'm not feeling as much up here as I was down there. In fact, I think I'll turn this light off. We'll go back to night vision so it can be completely dark. There we go, that's better. I'm thinking, I'm trying to work my way around in the dark. I know there's a step here somewhere. Where is it? Let's head downstairs. I think we're getting more stuff downstairs. I don't think this part of the building, this part of the room, was connected to the original story. I think this is a renovated attic. I personally don't think this would have been used for the party. I purely think it was all down here. touched your bread? Have you touched your bread? No. No. Never mind. You've got all night to have some. You've got all night. I just want to know who owns this place. Why is this the most haunted place in Estonia? The most haunted place in the old Soviet Union. What is that noise? Is that something outside? Maybe it's like a truck going past or something. I just heard like a faint mumbling sound. Did you get married in this room? I just want to know that. I want to know who got married up here. I wish I could just put the SLS camera on actually. I think that would be good. This would be a good place to use it, but getting it through the airport was always going to be difficult, and I just couldn't bring it across. It just would never fit in any of my cases. So the SLS camera's back in England. So we're just doing basics at the minute. Just doing basics. Investigating the most haunted building in the whole of the former Soviet Union. It is said in this very room the devil himself turned up and had a wedding party. Of course, he wasn't going to get married in a church, was he? So many questions remain. Who did he marry? Who married the devil? Why did he have a Christian ceremony? Although, to be honest, weddings take place across all religions and cultures, don't they? So, at what point did they brick that up? What year did they do it? Was it straight away? Why have they sort of left? Why have they left sort of some of the stone showing? Did this window exist? Maybe this was... I've got a theory about it. This window here is a new window that was built years later. This was the only window in the building at the time, and I think they've bricked it up. And then later on, they've built a new window. Because it doesn't make sense that they would brick that window up and then leave that window there. I think that's been the only window in this building, and they've bricked it up, and over time they've just added this modern small window just here. That's got to be the case. It just doesn't make sense, does it? But they thought nobody can see into this apartment because of what happened to the innkeeper in here. The innkeeper who died under mysterious circumstances. I can hear something going past. Such a famous room. Even a knock at the far end. A knock at the far end. Lights are going to come on. Oh, it doesn't. Why doesn't that come on? Oh, there it goes. Hello? Are you from the party?
I decided to call it a night and get some sleep. I also left a little message for any spirits that might wanted to come and communicate with me in the night.
Morning, guys. Had a really peaceful and good night's sleep. Nothing happened during the night that I'm aware of. The bread still hasn't moved, although it's gone a bit hard and crispy now. It's not very nice. Didn't hear anything. Certainly slept through the full night, and as it's morning, I've had a bit of a lie-in. This morning's walking tour groups are probably going to be coming past the window any minute. Incredible building, incredible history. Even if there was no devil's wedding, something obviously happened in this room. Whatever happened, we don't know. But just the thought that 800 years ago, this area, this building was being used for parties. People were coming through the door, gatherings in here. So you think, how many people have owned the building? How many people have lived between these very stone walls that must have seen absolutely all sorts? So if walls could talk, what memories are they having? Incredible night though, really enjoyed it, and I'm so pleased to have been able to have slept in this very famous room by this very famous non-window.
I enjoyed my stay in Tallinn. Whether the Devil's Wedding story is just folklore or not, it still doesn't take anything away from this fantastic building, and I'm sure its former residents are still here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Dead Air YouTube channel. Give us a follow on Instagram as well.